The moon was full that night, so full it seemed ready to burst with secrets. In Laruma Village, the silence was thick, broken only by the distant cry of a nightjar and the rustling of mango leaves in the wind. Yet behind that calm, a shadow moved, swift, silent, and purposeful. A door creaked open. A hand reached inside. But instead of taking jewels or coins, the intruder took a single loaf of bread and left behind a small wooden carving of a dove. When dawn broke, the whispers began. "Another theft," shouted Mama Kanda, clutching her apron. "My bread is gone." Again, asked her neighbor, Chief's brother, Bambo Sephew. "Did he take anything else?" Mama Kanda frowned, lifting the small carving. "Only this. A dove. Like peace." The villagers were baffled. In the days that followed, the thief struck again. But his choices were strange. Sometimes he took a basket of cassava, sometimes a pair of worn sandals, sometimes only a bar of soap. And each time, he left something behind. A carved bird. A folded leaf with words written in charcoal. A child's drawing of a sunrise. Fear gripped Laruma at first. The elders called a meeting at the baobab tree. "This thief is mocking us," said Chief Abayo, his deep voice echoing across the crowd. Old Nana Koro, the oldest woman in the village, raised her hand. "But no one has been harmed. No homes destroyed. Only small things missing, and small kindness left behind. Is this the work of evil, or of sorrow?" The people murmured. It was true, no one could say they'd lost much. And yet, the unease remained. One night, the thief visited the home of young Amina, a widow struggling to raise her twin boys. He took her only cooking pot. Amina wept bitterly, until 3 days later, a stranger arrived from the next town, bringing her a brand new pot, twice the size, with food inside and a note. For Amina, who still smiles after the storm. Amina's tears turned to confusion. Then there was Mzi Baraka, the grumpy blacksmith whose eyesight had begun to fail. One morning he discovered his old anvil missing. In its place lay a folded note and a small purse of coins. "Your work has served us all. Let your hands rest." A week later, a young man from another village brought him a new anvil, lighter, polished, engraved with his name. The people began to whisper a new name, the compassionate thief. But not everyone was convinced. Chief Abayo ordered his guards to set traps. "A thief is a thief," he said sternly. "Compassion cannot erase crime." Still, one villager, Tono, the village teacher, grew curious. He had lost something too, a tattered book of proverbs, one he used to teach the children. A week later, he found it returned to his doorstep, its torn pages carefully mended, and inside it, a note that read, "Your words feed more than bread. Keep teaching." Tono's heart stirred. Who was this person? That night, he decided to keep watch. Hidden behind a granary, he saw a figure moving under the moonlight, slim, cautious, wearing a hood made from woven palm leaves. Tono followed silently. The figure stopped beside a hut, opened a window gently, and placed something inside. Tono's eyes widened. It was a bundle of fresh fruit, left for an old woman who was too sick to walk to the market. "Who are you?" Tono whispered, stepping forward. The figure froze, then turned. It was a young man, barely more than 20, with sharp eyes that held both guilt and kindness. "My name is Juma," he said softly. "And I do what I must." Juma's story unfolded like a wound opening under the healer's touch. He had once been a farmer, the only son of a sick mother. When drought struck Laruma 2 years earlier, he begged for help, from the chief, from the rich merchants, from anyone. No one listened. His mother died that dry season, her lips cracked from thirst. "I swore," Juma said, voice trembling, that no one in Laruma would ever suffer unseen again. So I steal, but only what is unused, unneeded, forgotten, and I give to those who have nothing." Tono was torn. His heart admired the young man's compassion, but his mind wrestled with the truth. "But Juma, this is still theft." "I know," Juma replied. "But sometimes, the right thing wears the wrong clothes." Eventually, Juma's axe could no longer stay hidden. One night, as he delivered food to a poor widow, Chief Abayo's guards caught him. The next morning, the entire village gathered in the square. The chief's voice thundered, "You have stolen from your own people. What say you in your defense?" Juma looked up, his face calm. "I have taken, yes, but never from hunger of gold. I stole because your laws left the poor to starve while your storehouses overflowed." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Momakanda stepped forward. "He took my bread, but left peace in my heart. My neighbor, who had nothing to eat, found food the next day." Amina added, "He took my pot, but gave me hope." Even the blacksmith, Mzi Baraka, hobbled forward. "If this is theft, then the world has forgotten mercy." The chief was silent. He looked at his people, his proud wounded people, realizing how far they had drifted from compassion. After long debate, the elders gathered beneath the baobab. Nana Koro spoke for all. "We cannot call him innocent," she said slowly. "But neither can we call him wicked. His hands broke the law, but his heart healed the village." The people nodded, murmuring in agreement. And so a new decision was made. Juma would not be punished as a thief. Instead, he would serve as the keeper of compassion, a guide to teach the village how to care for one another, so that no one would ever need to steal again. The chief himself declared, "From today, the wealth of Laruma shall serve all. Let every harvest be shared, and every heart remember this lesson, that justice without mercy is only another kind of cruelty." Years later, Laruma Village became known far and wide as the village of the open hand. Travelers spoke of its kindness, its fairness, and the man who once stole bread but gave back dignity. And sometimes, when the moon grew full, the children whispered stories of Juma, the thief who stole not for greed, but for love. Nana Koro would smile and say, "He was never just a thief, my children. He was a mirror. He showed us who we truly were." Then she'd look up at the glowing moon and murmur, "True justice is not in punishing the wrong, but in healing the hurt that caused it. Compassion without justice is weak, but justice without compassion is blind. True balance lies in understanding the heart behind every action." What is your takeaway from this story? Would you have judged Juma differently? Don't forget to like and subscribe.